So I wonder if that's actually happening. But it's one of these like League of Legends things where it's like you're not really supposed to talk about hovers because they could be trolling you, but like is he gonna lock that in? Oh my god, okay, we are getting Viper Omen.
I see someone has been watching some VCT Americas, or at least Loud's games across Champions and Masters Tokyo, because that was the comp that they brought in. I think instead of the Omen, they rocked the Harbor instead. But Double Controller, it's the new meta for literally every map if you choose to play it, and that seems to be the case here, as the defenders, they've opted for that. So pros and cons. The pros are you have double cycling smokes. It's going to make it really annoying for the attackers to try and get into your site, especially if it's going to be the molly and snakebite combos to try and stall a little bit. Unfortunately, in contrast, you're going to be sacrificing that additional info initiator that you usually see coming in as well. So while they have a Sova, with the nerfs that Sova has seen, you're not going to be having the Sky Heals or the Breach Concussions to kind of buff your team up a little bit. So it's going to have to be a bit proactivity coming out of the Jet to get that early information going.
Yeah, it really is. And we're going to see where they actually opt to set up here. We're going to see, I believe it's Asian heading over towards that C site with that Cypher, which is usually where we would see the setup. I believe that's where, when I was watching these teams previously, that was their Haven setup. We have the Omen over, of course, on that side to be able to cover that side of the map, and then we have the Viper alternating. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them change sites as the rounds go on, but starting off this pistol, early aggression towards that A site, but they are aware, and we're ready for it. Have the 3 players over there with the Viper. Gonna possibly fall back over towards mid very soon.
Yeah, I think they spotted the Sova utility as well as heard a couple of different guns firing, so they really don't want to try and risk pushing into a possible stack, like you mentioned, rotating over towards this B site instead. Require gonna be a player tagged in it, so that's at least a notification that the site has been taken. However, Plan's gonna come down, so we're in a full 5v5, and now they have to push a particular lane to try and prevent the control from completely being overridden on this B side, but a beautiful snakebite is gonna stop them in their tracks, and it does so much chip damage, especially with this flank coming in.
Yeah, really like the timing of this flank coming out from Wallboom. As they start to come in for this retake, it's a bloodbath. Snake manages to find 3 and finishes it off. Wallboom gonna help them. I really liked the Sova and the Jet pushing up through A main once they had cleared out. They heard the footsteps and were able to take that very quickly, so that when they actually went for that B side hit, they were already in window just waiting, and as their teammates rotated in, they were able to start taking back that site. Gotta secure the first round for themselves.
I especially appreciated the dash from Wallboom. Like, it was a 2v1, but you could see that Misha was kind of running to prevent the defuse from going through, but that was a very nice little play. Dash with the right click into the face. Free gun, by the way. So, overall, a nice retake coming out of TUD there. That said, though, now they're gonna have their anti-eco coming in, upgrades across the board. Marshall to hold off on A, and the jumping from Miryu might be enough to get the influence that needs that point of contention, where there are still 2 players anchoring up.
Miryu not gonna TP away in the face of danger. He's just gonna stick in that corner. Spray down from A, does a lot of damage, and manages to get one here to help cover.
Remaining.
Hopper going huge, managing to get it 2 with the Sheriff.
But
in the end, TUD will secure the second round.
A little bit expensive though. They do lose a couple of their weapons. I think they said there was a Spectre dropped as well as maybe another Bulldog. I'm not quite sure, but they did lose a couple of players in the process. So this bonus, it's going to be a little bit awkward. They could invest a bit more money to try and make it not so much of a bonus as it is just a 3rd round, a full buy versus a full buy, but instead they're just going to be opting to play with whatever they have. Maybe farm up a couple of those ultimates and see what they can do in the buy versus buy rounds.
Pressure being shown towards C right away, but Miryu jump spot head. Will be relaying that information to his team. The attackers now just playing default. They actually have the Sova pushed all the way up long A, just listening and playing, and now sending the Jet over as well. Trying to see what they can find. Clearing out the outside of A. They have so much map control here. Got a Pogs. We'll get tagged, but we'll get Wallboom in the end.
gonna be the cue for the Execute to come in on the side. Once again, the flash dash combos, but in that close range, the frenzy just melts Misha. The Omen TP comes in, a little bit of a cheeky play to try and buy a little bit more time, but it still will be a 1-for-1 trade at the end of it. 3v3 scenario, the flame coming in as well from Ghost. It's gonna be this fight between the Cypher and the Sova to decide, and the timing is not right for Ghost there as he gets taken down. 2v3 situation. Retaker's in a bit of an awkward spot, just trying to maybe, if not find the skills, do a little bit of damage. Everybody from DCU Titans are playing off-site here, trying to make that post plan work out. Cyberpage comes in, the recon doesn't anyone, and half the defuse already gonna be coming through. Straight out, not taking too much damage, and it might just be a pros no fake moment, except Bopper. He finds the last 2 kills, and that will be the first round for DCU Titans.
Yeah, they were struggling to find him through the Cyber Cage, but once the Cypher has swung out, he was actually in line with the Viper defusing. It was a bit unfortunate lineup, but will be around back for themselves. As you said in the previous one, money wasn't too great, so they actually opted to not buy up. We're going to see a good few rifle half armors here. Godapog's just going to stick with the Stinger, which I believe he was secured from the last round. Misha going to get a drop as well, as we go into the first full buy for both teams. Early pressure towards A main. Bopper will be spotted by the Owl drone. Ghost now just playing with fire. I just realized Lalboom has an op as well over towards B. A bit of an investment. We're going to see what he can do with that.
Seems like DCU Titans, though, they're aware of the possibility of the op. They're being very cautious about how they approach these angles. A lot of utility early on to get that kind of space. Rolling Thunder online, and that will be put down to commence the execute. Ghost gonna be hit by a lot of utility here. Still just somehow staying alive on site for a while before Misha finally takes it down.
I know
exactly. Though, it's gonna be the Neutral to come out and smoke out the remaining position of these TUD Azure players. 3v4 situation, side taken, and with an operator in hand, this retake, it might not be super possible unless they find those early picks.
Retake starts to come in. Asian drops the Cyber Cage. We will get taken down by Bopper in the end.
One enemy remaining.
Is all theirs now to a 1 versus 4. Trying to run away with the op. Will he get spotted? Bopper chasing him down. Oh, just managed to get around the corner in time, but has the only people in tow. Secures 1. But can he get any more? No, he cannot. Dilzu gonna land a headshot, and that will be an op taken down. As we said, it's an expensive loss for them as they go into this round. Gonna have to go on to that ego.
That was well done by DC Titans. They, like we talked about, they were aware of the op, and they were happy to go chase it down, ensure that that hero weapon isn't taken into this next round, forcing them to play completely in an eco. A couple of ults available for the TUD side here, but I don't think we're going to be seeing the Viper's Pit or the Neural Theft really committed unless there's some kind of case to be made for the round 1 off the back of those. Instead, it's going to be some early aggression, this time towards the C side by Lalboom. We've seen how eager him and his teammates were on the A side in the previous time, and it's just a bit of a default play to come out of DCU Titans, waiting perhaps for a possibility like this, somebody pushing out.
Yeah, the fact that they've completely switched what side they're playing on to try go for this is big brain, but we're going to see what they can actually manage to do with it. They break the tripwire. It's going to get noticed. 2 players on the side of DCU turned around. Oh, Bopper manages to get 1. Ghost gonna get 1 back as well. Misha knows he's here, but they don't know exactly where. Godapog's gonna spot him out now. 7 HP. Can he get out of this alive? Oh, he's just playing ring around the spawn with the Godapogs. Still getting unchecked. Godapogs is
spike planted.
Oh, in a toughy spot. They just walk past each other. And Godapogs literally just walk back to back.
Well, alright, a little bit of a awkward Omen versus Omen fight there, but at the end it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. In the meantime, the A side has been taken by the attackers. They have their post line ready to go. A 3v3 situation. Mirio, though, able to find another. So that's definitely something that's in their favor. It's all gonna come down to the Cypher in the clutch. Brings it down to a 1v1. Looks at long, but Miryu with the rifle that he managed to pick up will find the clutch and the defuse to get Azure. A nice thrifty, a bit of celebratory spraying there. I think you gotta finish your defuse there, buddy. Alright, he has enough time. There we go.
He's got it. Great eco coming out from them, though. Coming out and winning the round. Only living with one person, but the round is what they needed. Try to get them back on track. Instantly off back on Lawboom once again. Hopefully can get a little bit more lucky with it this time. Of course, like you said, they're very aware. DCU are super aware of the fact that they're going to have that operator. So, probably going to... Are they actually going to go towards Garage here? It's a bit of a risk. We're going to see whether Lawboom can make that op worth it. Smokes in towards Garage straight away. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a Garage push. No one there to stop them. Asian with the wall bang, though. Oh, that's just big brain.
Heartbreaker there for Misha. Now a bit of zoning ability coming out with that Hunter's Fury to try and clear the space in Garage. Not going to really catch anyone, although it does succeed in pushing them out at least for a little bit. Bopper along with the spike towards Garage door, looking for a possible pick if somebody does decide to push through, but instead it's going to be lurking Cypher to find someone. The timing as well for Bopper. Yet another, a third with Podhead chiming in, and suddenly DCU Titans, they take the lead in numbers.
Yeah, now into a 4 versus 2. Gonna be a complete rotate over towards this A site. Gonna have to see whether they actually opt to go for this retake here. I think they'll be happy with a few exits, seeing as their money, once again, is not the best after purchasing some expensive weaponry. But DCU, smart, not gonna play towards this off. It does look like Lawboom is looking for it, fishing for anything he can find. Don't know if you really want to risk this here. Yeah, and there's the call. Gonna call to pull back. Just gonna leave Miryu. Try to find some exits. TP off the site from the remaining members of TUD Azure, and that's just gonna be another round on the board for the DCU Titans.
Nice attacking strats to come out of them. The quick switch over as well. I think my favorite kill in that entire round was when Pothead kind of got this fadeaway towards the guy pushing out at mid. I do not think anybody was expecting that pick to go in favor of DCU Titans, but those 3 kills in a row that they found towards Garage and mid, really nice timings to come out from the team to tie things up here 3-3. I think that for TUD Azure, because they managed to save a couple of those guns, they might be able to build a buy around them. I think they still do have that operator as well as a Vandal available for Miryu, if I'm not wrong. So definitely some capability, like some possibilities of them being able to invest a little bit more and try to close the round. But again, it's a little bit of a change of pace coming out of the Titan squad. Again, looking for that quick C hit, it seems like.
Scatter. Straight away from the shadows coming out. Rum got a pause, just trying to get some information. We'll spot out Miryu. Gonna TP out of the corner and then back into the corner. Let's go big here. Paranoia will hit onto 3, but there's no follow-up because of that smoke that's been put down. Bopper gonna find 1 to open it up. We'll find a second at the Asian as well. Finally, a trade comes back from Zig, but now back into this 2v4 we've seen in the previous round. Gonna have to see whether they actually try to go for anything here, or whether they're just gonna...
1 enemy remaining.
This. And there's the off-down Pothead. Gonna find 2. Once again, that off just not really working out for Lawboom.
Yeah, I mean, the op, it's incredibly powerful if you're trying to hold down a lane and somebody's pushing up, get a couple of kills, fall back, you know how it goes. But on the retake, right, it's just such an awkward weapon to have. And this is the 3rd time that we're seeing it find no value. It's been very hit or miss with where exactly DCU Titans, Azure, they're positioning this op on the defense. It's also the fact that Titans, they're being super unpredictable about their attacking style. It's not like they've been doing any conditioning. They're not like doing the same thing multiple times to bait their opponents into a false sense of security. Instead, it's measured chaos. And it's a playstyle that suits them quite well. Now, economy for TUD Azure kind of going to be in a bit of an awkward spot, so the buy, less than ideal, especially against all of these rifles, but hey, in that close range, especially towards short, the judge, it can do an awful lot of damage, knowing why you're going to be seeing nobody from Titans really trying to put pressure on that area. They're just channeling in through long instead, being able to find the first with the help of the judge, but immediate refrag there for Pothead, bringing things down to a 4v3 as the fight goes down.
Spike planted.
Finding the spike in that safe corner, right at the back of the site, makes it so hard on the retake. It's best place to plant if you have that full control of the site. Crossfire is now being set up. 3 versus 4 retake, dash in, but Dogpatch is fully aware of where that dash will land, shuts it right down, and are up 2 rounds so far on this attacking side.
Definite, like, really nice strategies to come out of them. I think that, when, like you talked about, their executes have been fantastic, almost flawless. They get that pick, and then you can see the barrage of utility that they really use to create that space, whether it's the paranoia, the flashes in conjunction, and of course, Misha being able to just dash in and take up a lot of that space. It's been very impressive to come out of DCU Titans. I think that for Azure, the rounds that they've been winning are the ones that they've been going head-to-head and not really letting Titans get those early picks or the site to plant for free. They've been kind of struggling a little bit when it comes to their retake protocols, apart from that pistol round. I think that it's going to be very important for them to find those early picks as we've seen them doing in the past. That might be the key for them to really try and succeed.
Off your feet!
Okay.
Yeah, and it does look like DCU have just broken their ankles a little bit. Sent some util over towards that B.
I know exactly where.
Sent them over that side, straight back to A. Asian Emilio, though, not going to go down without a fight. Managed to cancel that plan. Misha going big with 3, though. And again, DCU just looking unstoppable so far in this half.
Blink and they'll catch up. Stay alert.
Blink and they'll catch on. Yeah, well, Blink and Misha will take you out. That's what we learned from that round. 4 kills in less than 4 seconds, just tapping heads and taking names. That's gonna let DCU Titans extend their lead even further here. 6-3 right now. And once again, it's TUD Azure trapped in that bit of an awkward economic cycle. Can we buy or do we have to save again? It seems like it's gonna be another save round. This time at least there's a Blade Storm available for their Jets, so we might see a little bit of slice and dice action coming out of that. But apart from that, I think that the biggest struggle for TUD Azure has been like keeping DCU Titans from overrunning them when they set their sights on a particular side of the map. And again, you see the change of pace coming out of Titans. They've been going in for those fast and heavy executes the last couple of rounds, but now they slow things down instead to try and find a little bit of information, not really wanting to let another Thrifty come to fruition.
Yeah, Misha now pressuring towards that B site. Just going to check the corner. And it's going to be another tripwire taken down. As they now go for this B hit. The jet dash goes in fast, but Dilzu with a huge double frag. Watching that on that flank. Zig's ultimate gets taken down. And again, DCU Titans just going to win out that round. It was a very slow play from them, but at the end of the day, the flank hold from Dilzu was huge, finding those 2 kills over onto Ghost and Lalboom, and Lalboom having a very quiet game so far. Gonna see if they can pick it up over the next few rounds.
Here.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a jet diff that we've seen so far, though to be fair, your duelist does tend to do a little bit better on attack, so I'm not going to judge Lalboom quite harshly yet. It's going to be another buy finally coming in for the Azure squad, so kind of the pressure mounting up. They really don't want to let this lead get even further for DCU Titans, even with them still having to go on their attack. Hunter's Fury now invested by the attacking squad, again for the zoning that we've seen previously to create some space on that C side, and they take it. The flank as well coming in quickly from Lalboom. I think that first tripwire got broken, so it's going to force the side of DCU Titans to play a little bit more on site. They've taken full site control this time, including that on the backside, so a bit more space to work with. Now garage control not in their custody, so it's gonna make things a little bit more challenging. Lalboom gets taken down, the flank is out of contention. The New comes out as the 2v2 kicks in, and the Hunter's Fury is still available for
one enemy
might be able to push forward, find the kill.
Last player
So on
standing.
Pothead, and now it's just a 1v1 Cypher versus the world, but through the cage it's gonna be Ghost to find that final kill. A retake happening for TUD Azure, and they finally get on the board again.
Yeah, hero round coming out from Ghost there, ending up with a 4K. Going absolutely huge to keep this team alive in this game before they switch sides. gonna see what they can do here. They really need this 5th round on the board before they switch sides. Of course, as you said, we're gonna have to see what this Jet can do on the attacking side, but every round counts when you're down, so gonna have to see what happens. Looking so far from the Titans like they're gonna go for another A play. You can see some pings towards long coming out from them.
I think that so far Titans have been pretty successful when it comes to their A hits. I think they only lost that one round where it was a thrifty for TUD Azure, which was a little bit unfortunate, but apart from that, they've been fairly successful. However, those were very quick hits, so with that drone to clear out lobby early on, it's gonna possibly push them towards mid instead. This time it's gonna be Nisha with the operator, does have the blades to work with as well for some additional utility, and already C-Long control, it's been completely cleared out, so that's a lot of information that the side of Azure have as of now.
Get out of my way!
Yeah, we've seen in the previous rounds that TUD, like, you know, when they won that eco, they took early control of that C-Long, which really there hasn't been much pressure from the DCU Titans. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry for our small technical issue. We obviously, our producer's PC had an issue, but we are back. Just to let you guys know, because we crashed just before the end of that last round. What happened was there was a bit of a bloodbath outside of A main. It came down to a 2 versus 1, and TUD secured the round just before we went to the pause. So teams have had a discussion during our little tech break, so we're going to see what they come out with at the start of this half.
Here.
Poison's gone.
Spike down, player standing.
Yeah, got a Pog still anchoring B, making sure listening for footsteps, but with the spike down on the site, rounds pretty secure for DCU here. Asian will have to go insane to be able to win this one, but we've seen it from them before. As he slowly walking up A main, just trying to see what the jump spotting left. Coming out from Pothead now will be spotted. Recon's gonna come out, doesn't check the corner, and Misha will be able to secure that one. Going up 8-5, start of their after their pistol, and it's looking pretty.
Yes, this should do. Oh, this is a nice spot.
Watch them falter. Cover going out. Blinding. Silence.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, don't give them. Do have to just double check, because of course we had that little PC issue earlier on. Zach, double check your thing, because our producer is speaking in my ear and saying that your mic is not working because of a link issue or something. So I will take the reins for just a minute, and I apologize if there has been some dead air. We're still just trying to work out the kinks. It is week 1. We're working with new stuff, new programs. It's going to take us a little while to get it all sorted out, but hopefully Zach is back now, I believe. So
I believe so too.
There we go. Yeah, so sorry if you couldn't hear for the previous round. Still working out the kinks. Should be working now. As we move into this round,
they found my wire.
Spike planted.
Poison orb emitting.
player standing.
Right here.
Yeah. Up. Coming out on Misha. See if we can have some more success than all of them did on the previous half. Now, as they re-aggress towards C, Godapog's gotta get tagged out through the down through that box. Snakebite's coming in and everything, just getting hit by util left, right, and center. Gonna be able to dash out.
Where is
Dilzu with cover, manages to get 2.
Oh,
Zig finally gonna find a refrag onto Godapogs. Asian gonna find 2. It's back and forth round so far, down to a 2 versus 2. Spike has not been planted. 2B across over onto the box, but Misha, active with that operator, finds the 2 picks and secures another round for DCU Titans.
double digits now, 3 rounds away from locking in this map in their favor. And I think that this is a little bit of a difference that we're seeing in the opping between these two jets. Of course, Misha in a little bit of a better position, but even then, a bit more dynamic with the movement and the aggression that you like to see coming out of the off, especially in that retake attempt. He was basically swinging it around like it was just another rifle. Another day at the office for the jet, and that will be DCU Titans extending their lead to 10. Once again, the economy for Azure in a little bit of a dire situation, forced to go on the eco. A couple of war points away from the swing ults though, in particular this Viper's Pit. So if they can get that spike down, maybe get a couple of weapons with the trades, it might be what they need to somehow convert this round, because they've already managed it with 150.
Poking and prodding over towards the A site now, just trying to see what they can find. Ghost gonna spot 1. There's Mirror, so other Sova on the other side, but won't be able to find anything. Just very slow round coming out from TUD Azure. Don't want to give anything over, even though it looks like DCU are on an eco, or at least have limited weaponry. Or apologies, sorry. I have the teams messed up in my head. TUD are on the eco.
At least they might be able to get a plant down as they take control of the B side. The problem with the B side is that it's one of the easiest ones to retake. However, that's a huge pick by Ghost on the lurker. However, the trade is nevertheless there from Aslan as Pothead finds another kill. Neural Theft to come out, smoking out the position of these remaining players on the Titans side. You can see the wraparound coming from Lol Boom as well. It's going to come down to the timing here of this garage push in the close range. Zig with the classic to find another kill. Now it's just a 2v3 situation as Misha makes that operator find that kill. A second one to come through as well. And now it's a 2v2 scenario. The wraparound is coming in. The clock is ticking. The defuse has to be stuck at least for a little bit. But the clock is run down to the end. And another Thrifty materializes to keep TUD Azure in this.
TUD are... That's their second, like, full eco win. Out of the 7 rounds they've won, 2 of them are full-on eco. So, related to TUD, you know, showing that they can win with the lesser weaponry, but they really need to start stringing some rounds together here. Now, as they come off of that round win, money looking pretty good for themselves. Not too good on the opposite side, though. We're going to just see the I'd say, hero rifle coming out on Bopper, and if there's anyone to put a hero rifle on, he's your man.
You did mention that he was the constant radiant to watch out for, so the huge upgrade that his team picked up. Now, though, the default timing not quite going in their favor, but still a 1-for-1 trade. In fact, Godapog able to find yet another and get control of the spike. So that's another gun that he can pick up as well. Bringing things down to a 3v3, repositions here, willing to let the spike out of his control as long as he can just hold on alive for his teammates, hoping perhaps that somebody else will run into his clutches, but instead it's just going to be him hanging around, hoping to find the timings here that could be crucial. 3v3 situation. 2 players on DCU Titans incredibly low here as the spike itself will finally get planted. Smoke for
Spike
long.
planted.
Lobisha with the Blade Storm takes out Lolboom, forcing the Viper's Pit out of this player. The right click goes a re, and that will just be a 2v2 now. Drone available for Pothead. It's gonna come down to the timing here, and oh my god, it's impeccable from Zig to bring it down to a 1v2, and God of Fog at 5 HP. He said heroics in that beginning, but he's not able to do too much more, and that will be a 2-round gap that is narrowly getting closer and closer.
Yeah, it really is, and you know, with the pistols, trying to pull off their best TUD impression with that eco, but in the end of the day, God of Fog's doing a lot of economy damage, but unable to secure the round. As we move now into, I believe, a full buy for both sides. I'm just going to double check. Yeah, we're going to actually see an Odin on God of Fogs as well. So I'm curious to see what he actually opts to do with that. Looks like he's doing towards C, or leaving towards Garage for the time being. Dash through, Lolboom manages to find a second onto God of Pogs. Dilzu gets caught at the door first of all. And it's a huge round to be losing for the side of DCU. 2 opening picks. Gotta make it harder for them on this retake, especially with it being on the plant being on that seaside. Asian still watching towards mid as well. They really have their talents just stuck in on this map. They are just immovable. Asian will spot out
Last player
Pothead,
standing.
who was trying to clear out mid, watch for flankers, but didn't look good enough. Bopper gotta find one in response, just trying to go for exits here as he has 3 or 4 players spraying at him. As I said, the one person you want with a rifle is gonna be Bopper. Manages to get a good bit of economy damage down. 3 kills as they lose the round, but they'll take 3 kills, that's for sure.
You could see Bopper like considering he was trying to save the gun, and then he was like, wait a minute, I can do this, and it was the wall bang from the opponent Cypher to put it down. But really you can see why DCU Titans are ranked significantly higher. Like you were telling me before we got into this particular game, huge upgrades that they picked up across the board, and Bopper being one of those players that is just cracked out of his mind, evidenced by the 3K that we saw coming out of him out of nowhere. Once again, a little bit of an awkward buy for Titans as Azure just steamroll their way into sight. The Omen TP is there, but the crossfire is still immaculate. Bopper able to find one with the Sheriff with the trades. They're still coming through here. Misha with the Sheriff of the zone able to find 2 more kills, and Pothead there for some additional backup. The bait and switch tactic, it's not going to be good enough, and now it's just a 1v2 to try and close out here.
exactly where
Neural Theft comes in to smoke out the position of this last player, with Garage being where he is. It's going to be a lot of utility to try and stall him from really making his way in. The Sheriff, all that he has to work with, so it's going to be a very difficult retake.
Cage triggered.
Yeah, 2 versus 1, only a Sheriff in hand. Has 1 Cyber Cage available as well, but they know his positioning now. Gonna be able to watch for this one.
Cage triggered.
Cyber Cage will go down, see if he can recover something potentially. They're playing so safe, they're not showing anything. Make it so difficult for Dilzu to actually be able to do anything on that retake. Asian got to secure the kill and the round. Now tied 10-10 after that first half. Kind of a surprising scoreline, but the resurgence from TUD has been really, really good.
Yeah, they've definitely been able to adapt to the kind of playstyle that DCU Titans have been putting forward. Now that the AWP has been taken out of contention as well, I think that they're feeling a little bit more comfortable. No real hero plays to come out of DCU Titans either in the latter rounds that we've seen so far. So I think that for Azure, they finally managed to pick up their momentum. In particular, one of the players that we were talking about, Lolboom, has kind of recovered here, really excelling in creating that space for the rest of his team. And once again, you see a little bit of a change of pace. They've been going for those fast, heavy hits on C for the last couple of rounds, but with the economy kicking back in for DCU Titans, it's a little bit more of a measured default, at least 4-1 split on C long. Cypher still lurking around here. Asian has been really good in finding the timings on these lurks and kills so far, and again, he might be rewarded for his patience because the double push to come out of mid, and if they're not careful, this window position, it could do a lot of damage. The peek is perfect. He takes down Misha, and that's the opener once again for TUD Azure.
Hunter Fury coming out as well, just trying to clear off the back of that site. But Bopper will spot 2 as the smoke goes down. so hard. Once again in this garage position, going big with 3 kills. Rolling Thunder comes out, but it's cost him his life. Lawboom now. The fake teleport as well coming out from Miryu, but it's not going to catch them off guard. Spike was down in the middle of the site. Going to secure themselves in the 11th round, and once again, Bopper showing why they picked him up onto this team. Just so amazing, like in his aim duels. Like we've seen him in collegiate for the last couple of years. He's been also in Valorant Tier 3 among the natives roster, the former natives roster, and he's just an insane player. So like it's really good to see him back once again.
Yeah, I can see why you were hyping him up before we got into the game. Some super good shots to really bring the round back into control of the DCU Titans squad. Again, you're gonna be seeing this quick mid aggression coming out. There's a Cypher position. I don't know if Misha's gonna really clear him out here. It's gonna come down to the timing. Spots out the barrel, gets the kill, and that will be Asian the Lurk taken care of. Now, while site itself has gone, it's a 3v5 situation, advantage overwhelmingly in favor of Titans here. The camera does get taken out, so no more information on site itself, but there's no ultimates available for this post, but everyone's just gonna have to duke it out in these gunfights, and it seems like with the numbers advantage, it's just gonna be a swarm coming through from the DCU Titans side. Beautiful paranoia to catch these players off guard. Zig and Lawboom though, the crossfire is still doing so much damage. It's just gonna come down to a 1v2, and Pothead is able to find the first but not the second. Somehow, that's a 2v4 the TUD is gonna win.
Say it, but probably
Yeah, just stopping that for that match point coming down.
What's the plan?
Lawboom waking up in the second half now, back up to I think 12 and 18. So a resurgence coming out, as you said. Curious what Lawboom would do on this attack side, and really showing up in that previous round, trying to keep his team alive in this one. And now we're gonna see what they do, but we see very limited money on the side of DCU.
Get out of my way!
So couple sheriffs. I see a classic on Misha. Gonna have to try find picks here, and if you are DCU, you're gonna be playing it as safe as possible. You do not want to drop a gun over to this squad. And so far, just looking to poke and prod towards C, and they've completely sold a fake here. Just so many players and resources being committed over towards A. I guess they're just confident in their retake over towards that C site, and now site has been taken. Spike will be going down. Timer will be ticking. Time to see what DCU can do on this retake.
Full 5-on-5 situation. DCU, they do have the Blade Storm to work with, but it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to find the space, especially with this Viper's Pit going down. I don't know how much silver utility they have in storage. Going to be a beautiful recon to try and spot these players out, but nobody's quite in range. Lawboom with the Blade Storm to find the first. It's a Jet versus Jet anime battle, and the right click from Misha at least able to find one, but that's going to be that. Unfortunately, not much more that the side of DCU Titans could do against the Onslaught, and it will be 12-11 match point coming in for TUD Azure, 1 round away from taking this map. But for DCU Titans, that wasn't equal. They're gonna have the economy to buy it back in this particular round. So if they play their cards right, we could very well be going to overtime.
Overtime in the first game of the season, of course they would do this to us. But we're gonna have to see whether they can do it. DCU looking way stronger than they did in previous seasons as well. So we're gonna have to see whether they can win this, win this match against the current reigning defending champions.
Remains to be seen. Yes, 1 round away from overtime and a possible comeback story. But that said, I think TUD Azure, they finally managed to figure out what exactly works for them. I think that most of these rounds, with the exception of the aggression that DCU Titans have been showing towards mid uncontested, it's kind of just been TUD Azure taking space for free, like they're doing right now. They've gotten mid control completely. They have B side to just ready to walk in, and there's only like 1 player hanging around, but it's Bopper. So with that spike going down, it is going to be a full retake here, and unfortunately the economy is still in a bit of an awkward spot. Lawboom though going to be tagged up quite a decent bit thanks to the aftershock of the breach. Zig to find an opener though. That's Bopper going down, so first blood definitely in favor of TUD Azure here, creating a little bit more zoning. Misha able to take out Zig, so that's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Spike itself is gonna get tapped, sprays come through, and the diffuser will be taken down. Got a pop, no longer a factor. Misha, though, pushing
Last player
through to do a little bit more. It's just up to the spike defuse, but it's going to be taken out.
Attackers
Miriam
win.
with 3 will deny it completely, and TUD Azure, they fight hard to make that comeback and take that victory in game number 1.
I can't say I'm not surprised, but when you're, you know, the reigning defending champions, you are going to put your foot down at some point. They had a struggle on that first half, I'm not going to lie. DCU definitely had their number, and it was looking pretty dire for them. But I think they just kind of woke up on that second half and managed to secure that one out. I'm not going to hold us too long on this post game because we are already a little bit over time. The other teams are waiting as well. We've had pretty much, I think, every other game finished before us. But a 13-11 in the first game of the season just shows you how competitive these teams are when it comes down to it. So I'm going to throw it to a break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with our second match of the night.